So I'm probably disappointed. I'm probably gutted. I'm something has to change, but I don't know who knew what. I'm thinking, why don't it just come out there then? You know, I knew, and I'm hearing everybody else is saying they've only just found out.
Go, no, come on, let's be smart about this. But I'm just like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck, I'll do whatever. Just sign that person up, do whatever.
He's had to serve under the rules and regulations. I think anybody who cheats with the drug should be banned for life.
The British boxing scene has erupted into total chaos following bombshell reports that Fabio Wardley has allegedly failed a drug test, just days before his highly anticipated showdown with Joseph Parker. The timing couldn't be worse, with the sport already under the microscope after previous controversies.
Fortunately, there needs to be an inquiry straight after this. Why, what? But that's what I'm hearing. The news is as fresh to me as it is you. I'm quite sure when this goes out,
Another doping scandal has reignited fierce debate and disillusionment across the industry. Reactions have poured in from every corner. Veterans like Johnny Nelson and Frank Warren, current fighters such as Daniel Dubois, and even Canelo Alvarez. The emotions, raw.
Make you a better fighter. Drugs may make you a little stronger, may make you a little, give you a bit more energy, but it don't make you technically smart. It doesn't give you all of that. You know, so those drug cheats that do it purposely, you've got to remember, you know, why are you doing it? What difference is it going to make? It's going to make you like a boxing Einstein?
Furious and deeply disappointed. Sky Sports analyst and former world champion Johnny Nelson was among the first to respond. His reaction, broadcast live, was a mix of disbelief and controlled fury. There's going to have to be an inquiry.
But what's happened? I know that there has to be a level of privacy with these things, but with boxing and as boxers.
Straight after this. Why? What? How? He demanded, visibly shaken. This is as fresh to me as it is to you. But once this goes out, it'll be everywhere. We need answers immediately before boxing's credibility takes another devastating hit. Nelson didn't just speak.
You can see where they're coming from, but the fact of the matter is, it's like if you go to prison, you're found guilty of a crime, you go to prison, you serve your sentence, and the slate gets wiped.
Emotionally, he spoke with painful honesty. He reminded everyone that no banned substance can give a fighter ring intelligence or courage. You can't inject timing. You can't swallow bravery, he said sharply, defending the integrity of the sport while condemning any attempt to cheat. For Nelson, the outrage wasn't just about Wardley. It was about a broken system.
We've just been waiting for all the final test results to come back from UCAD, which are now back, that are negative, and that's the testing process they use. So we need clarity from the board. If you're not suspending him, if you're not allowing this fight to happen, or he can fight someone else, but you won't allow this fight. So again, it's quite fresh at the moment, but that's where we are at the moment.
That keeps allowing scandals to happen. Unless there's real reform, he warned, boxing's integrity may crumble under its own negligence. When Fabio Wardley finally broke his silence, he sounded shaken and defensive. The normally composed heavyweight struggled to find his foot.
Distracted, not get dissuaded from anything, just stay on target, stay on focus. I have the athleticism, I have the speed, I have the power. I've got it in my tank to go through the rounds if you want to go. So there's none of those things are a factor or a problem for me. I just need to stay on job.
As he denied the allegations. I've got no idea where this has come from, he insisted. I've always trained clean, fought clean. This is a complete shock, but public reaction was brutal. Fans who once admired Wardley's grit and work ethic were now questioning everything. With the test reportedly...
If it was me, take his license away. You know, because you cannot cheat in the sport of boxing. Not if you're going to put on a pair of gloves and get inside that square circle and physically fight somebody, and potentially you could easily lose your life, then to take anything which will give you enhance your performance, it's just wrong.
Conducted right before fight week, the timing only fueled suspicion. For a man whose image was built on discipline and hunger, this controversy could become the defining challenge of his career. Promoter Frank Warren weighed in with calm but pointed words. If he's done wrong, he needs to face it head-on. But if he's...
Fucking out, cheating bastard. You know, that's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is, but then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's somebody that's failed 3 times, or this is the 3rd adverse reaction.
Innocent, the truth will clear him. Either way, redemption comes through honesty, Warren stated. Warren's message went beyond Wardley. It was a commentary on boxing's wider credibility crisis. Each time a fighter fails a test, he said, the sport loses a bit more of the public's trust. Fans expect fairness and transparency, and repeated scandals threaten to drive them away. Then came a stunning twist. Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing, claimed that Wardley's UCAD test results had actually come back negative, directly contradicting the earlier reports. We need answers, Hearn demanded.
Correct. This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously. Absolutely. Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping, I know that, but this is a test. He's popped up. Let's look into it properly. What happens if something happens on Saturday night?
Absolutely.
What if we've already...
The tests are clear. Why are we stopping the fight? The sport needs consistency, not chaos. Hearn's revelation sent shockwaves through the boxing world, exposing deep flaws in the sport's drug testing system. Conflicting results, unclear communication, and opaque procedures have made it nearly impossible to trust official statements. Fans and pundits alike echoed Hearn's call for full transparency. Former world champion Duke McKenzie didn't mince his words either. No sympathy, no excuses, he declared. If it's true, Wardley's license should be revoked immediately. You can't allow drug cheats in boxing. It might make you stronger or faster, but it doesn't make you a better...
Drugs you take, it doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter. That's proof. You know, so until more news comes out...
Boxing's about skill and heart, not shortcuts. McKenzie's outrage struck a chord with fans who feel betrayed every time another doping scandal hits the headlines. For him, the issue isn't just rule-breaking, it's about respect. Respect for your opponent, respect for the fans, and respect for the sport, he emphasized. Trainer Dave Coldwell took a more measured stance. His frustration was evident, but he also called for fairness and patience. We're sick of this, he admitted. Every time the sport builds momentum, something like this drags it back down.
This is very unforgiving. You can't, I'm sorry. Provided it's been found, it's 100% that those substances were found in his system, it's unforgiving. And you know what, I blame the governing bodies because I don't believe that they imposing heavy enough.
But before we point fingers, we need the full truth. Coldwell's plea for due process stood out amid the outrage. A reminder that while doping must be condemned, justice still requires facts, not assumptions. Broadcaster Adam Catterall was more uncompromising. Boxing can't afford to treat doping lightly, he said passionately. Lives are on the line in that ring. Integrity has to come first. If the sport loses that, it loses everything. Catterall's words reflected the frustration of fans and insiders alike, tired of seeing boxing stumble over the same failures time and time again. As the dust settled, Johnny Nelson
loses people that are, doing that sort of thing. So, drug cheats need to, they need to step aside and let real fighters fight.
Returned to comment once more. This time less angry, more reflective. It's not just about the fighter anymore, he said. It's the system. We've seen this before. Conor Benn, Dillian White. Every time it happens, we lose more fans. Nelson's closing words hit home. The scandal surrounding Fabio Wardley isn't just about one man. It's about a sport standing on the edge of a credibility crisis. Whether the allegations prove true or false, the message is clear. Boxing can't afford another cover-up, another contradiction, another failure of integrity. The world is watching, and this time, the truth has to come out. The uproar surrounding Fabio Wardley's alleged failed drug test has shaken British boxing to its core. As reactions continue pouring in, one truth echoes louder than ever.
I don't know exactly what is going on, and so I don't have anything to say right now. I'm surprised, yes, because I know Ryan and I don't.
The sport's credibility is hanging by a thread. Johnny Nelson summed it up perfectly. Without fans, boxing dies. Calling for sweeping reform, he condemned the confusion and secrecy that continue to plague anti-doping efforts. We can't keep hiding behind uncertainty, Nelson warned. Either you're clean or you're not. The gray areas are killing us. His words hit at the heart of the issue. Inconsistency. The lack of transparency in how tests are processed and communicated is destroying public trust. Trainer Don Charles didn't hold back either. Furious and unfiltered, he went after boxing's governing bodies just as much as the fighters themselves. "We're too soft," Charles snapped. "We catch them, ban them for 6 months, and they come back like nothing happened. That's not punishment, that's encouragement."
He's got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in, and remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had him in trouble, Dillian White down, so you can never write Wardley out of anything.
Charles, doping isn't a technical rule break, it's a moral betrayal. If you cheat, you betray every man and woman who's ever laced up gloves, he said passionately. Clean fighters earn their place with blood, sweat, and sacrifice. Daniel Dubois, known for letting his fists do the talking, offered a few cutting words that resonated across social media. Drug cheats need to step aside. Simple, but devastatingly effective. His message struck a chord with fans who applauded his no-nonsense stance, a reflection of a younger generation of fighters determined to restore fairness and pride to the sport. Even Canelo Alvarez, one of boxing's biggest global stars, and a man who knows what it's like to face scrutiny, weighed in with calm authority. "Let the facts come out first," Canelo urged. "But yes, this is
in front of you, fight them, smash them, move on to the next." So for me, this Fabio Wardley fight is the most important, and he is my Usyk, because there's no point thinking about Usyk if I can't take care of business.
Disappointing. Boxing needs credibility. Behind his composed tone was a clear warning. The sport cannot afford another credibility crisis. For Canelo, this wasn't just gossip. It was a wake-up call to protect boxing's integrity before it's too late. Sky Sports commentator Adam Smith analyzed the wider impact on the fight itself. Before the controversy, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley was one of the year's most anticipated heavyweight clashes. Parker's disciplined resurgence under Andy Lee versus Wardley's raw power and hunger. But now, Smith admitted, the entire narrative has shifted. "You can't write Wardley off completely," he said, "but it's impossible to ignore the shadow hanging over him." Amid the noise, Joseph Parker has stood tall, calm, professional, and completely focused. He refused to indulge in the drama. "My job is..."
Wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in, and remember, Joe Joyce...
To fight, he said simply. "I'm not chasing fame or excuses. I'm chasing victory." That quiet composure captured why Parker is so widely respected. He didn't gloat, mock, or provoke. Instead, he embodied integrity. A champion who lets discipline, not controversy, define him. "I've always believed discipline beats chaos," Parker added. "That won't change." Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. echoed that sentiment, praising Parker's transformation under Lee. "He's sharper, smarter, more confident. That's what evolution looks like," Roy said. "He's earned it the right way." That's what separates him from the rest. As the scandal continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher. For Wardley, this is no longer just about winning a fight. It's about salvaging his reputation and proving he's clean. For Parker, it's about showing that true